Hey guys, welcome to a memorial tribute for a great guy, a great human being, and a great man that we are paying tribute today on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. I wanted to do this tribute to give my appreciation and my emotional tribute to a man that changed my life, a chef that was simply and utterly incredible, a guy that you could never ever say one bad word about, and a person that changed the world of Masterchef Australia and the world of cooking, chefs, and competition. A guy that was remarkable, inspirational, a role model, a hero, and a guy that was always there to help out people in dark times. And obviously, this has really affected me, and I wanted to give my tribute to obviously the amazing Jock Zonfrillo. Obviously, Jock, unfortunately, passed away yesterday, and I'm absolutely gutted. I'm absolutely devastated, and words can't describe the feeling of the heartache and the heartbroken moments I am feeling with the loss of Jock. I'm devastated, and I'm in complete shock of coming to terms with Jock no longer being here. It's absolutely devastating, and my thoughts, prayers, and my sincere condolences go out to his friends, his family, his wife, and his kids that have sadly been left behind. I can't imagine the pain, the heartache, and the heartbroken feelings and emotions you are feeling right now. I can't imagine what you must be going through. And it's terrible news. I mean, the world is in shock of Jock no longer being here. I'm devastated. I've not stopped crying all day. I've been crying all day Monday because I only woke up to it on Monday morning at 9 a.m. I was woken up when my parents say, Jock's passed away. And it took me all of 2 minutes to remind myself, Jock. And I thought to myself, I know exactly who you're on about. And to lose Jock Zonfrillo is devastating. Absolutely devastating. I can't believe it. I'm in absolute agony. I'm so heartbroken. I'm angry, and I'm devastated that Jock is no longer here. And I want to do this tribute because it's been so hard to put into words the upset and the heartbreak that I am feeling right now, and every feeling across the Masterchef Australia community and across the Masterchef Australia family. I couldn't imagine the pain and the heartache and the heartbroken feelings, emotions that we are all going through right now as a community, and we're going through as a family. I can't imagine how everyone must be feeling, but I'm absolutely devastated that Jock's no longer here. Words can't describe what a great man he was. When I first heard that Jock Zonfrillo was going to be one of the new MasterChef judges for MasterChef Australia, I was buzzing, I was excited. And the words of a great man that I saw, a great man with a great heart, kindness, passion, love, and care of natural Australian ingredients and people's feelings and emotions to make them the best of the best. And what he did for MasterChef Australia was simply magical. He absolutely transformed that show overnight in a heartbeat. And the pain contestants, the judges, Melissa, Andy Allen, I can't imagine what you must be feeling. I honestly don't. I honestly can't imagine what the pain must feel like. I mean, Jock was one of the nicest ever people you could ever meet. Jock was one of those people that had a great, kind heart that was always there to help others in need. And he was always there to support the contestants on the show. And the passion, the feedback, and the desire to help people improve was always there. There was not one bad word, one bad bone in his body. He was just such a kind man. And to lose Jock is devastating. Like, to wake up to that he's passed away is just, it's devastating. Honestly, I'm lost for words. That guy was just simply incredible, and I would have loved to have had the opportunity to meet him because he was a big admirer of mine. He was a big inspiration, role model, and a hero that, obviously he had his up and down times, and he was a great campaigner for mental health with anxiety. I suffer with anxiety. I've also suffered with severe depression, and I've got really bad autism. And what Jock did for people like me who suffer with mental health and anxiety, that help is out there for people who deserve it, because we all suffer. We all have times that we find life difficult. We always have times that we find life at times the biggest struggle in the world to deal with. And whenever you had Jock appeared on Masterchef Australia as a guest judge, and obviously the brand new host for the show, and obviously the brand new judges with Melissa Long and Andy Allen, it made the show transform. And I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted. And the heartbreak I'm feeling is because, do you know what? It always happens to the nicest people. And Jock was one of them. He was such a gentleman. He was so kind. He was so caring, and he was so supportive. All the help and the support and the tips and advice that he gave to every single person out there that needed it. He's helped so many people transform their lives. And that is down to Jock. Jock was one of the nicest people that you could ever meet and come across in life, and he transformed the show. I just can't imagine him not being on the telly when it airs over here in the UK. I can't imagine how difficult that's going to be, knowing Jock's no longer here, but he's here in spirit. And, you know, he was just one of the nicest people that I think this world has ever had. He's just a great person. And at the end of the day, losing him is devastating. Like, I can't imagine what that's done to the contestants, Andy Allen and Melissa. I can't imagine what you must be going through. I mean, words wouldn't describe the pain I think you're all feeling, and I'm devastated. And the most pain I feel is for his family and his friends and his wife and his kids who've lost their dad, a brother, and everything. It's been completely wiped. It's fucking devastating. It really is, because he brought so much love to a show that, you know, was going to change. And as soon as Jock appeared on Masterchef Australia, I basically fell in love with more of the show, because he had the advice, he had the help and the support of his kindness with his words. It was simply second to none. He was just such a great man with a great heart that actually cared about people like me, like you. And what made me do this video was because the impact he had on Brent, when Brent was a Masterchef contestant, and obviously he sadly had to pull out because he was suffering with severe mental health problems. And obviously the impact Jock made on his life in a positive way. Jock managed to help him, and that could never ever be forgotten. That guy deserves to be honoured if the show ever continues. And my deep feeling is that without Jock, it just simply ain't MasterChef. It's not the show anymore. It's not the show that without him being there, it ain't going to feel right. And I know they're already filming over there, but I wouldn't carry it on, because the loss of Jock is it's torn the Masterchef family apart. The amount of tributes I've seen, I've been crying since 9 a.m. on Monday morning. And him no longer being here it's devastating for everyone. And the impact he had on me was, do you know what? There's always light at the end of the tunnel. There's always help out there when you need it. Go out there and get the help that you need. And he inspired me to do that, because I was in a really dark place a few years ago. Last year and a year before, I was in a really dark place. I was on the verge of, you know, everything and anything. And Jock managed to, you know, he managed to give you that confidence. He managed to give you that positivity back into me that was simply wiped out of me. I had no positivity. I had no continuation of what's the point of, you know, life as it is. And Jock brought me so much life back into me because of the inspiration and the role model and the charity work he did. There was not a bad word to say about Jock. Jock Zonfrillo is a legend of MasterChef now. And that has to be honoured in some kind of way to honour his memory, because the way he connects with people and the way he treats people is second to none. He's got so much respect. He's got so much time for others. He gave up so much of his own time and for other people that needed help. You see the impact he's had on people's careers since they've been on Masterchef Australia, and look at the impact on their lives, and you look at the impact on their lives now. than what it was. You look at the futures all them have got. That is down single-handedly to what Jock has done for them, the confidence, the mentality, the positivity, and the belief that if they dream big, they will achieve their big dreams that they want. And you look at all the people like Reynolds, you look at all the people like Tessa and Simon, you look at every contestant that is featured under Jock on Masterchef Australia, and you look at the positivity of everyone that has achieved greatness on that show. That is down to Jock, and I can't stop crying because it's just so sad. Like, I never expected that to happen. I never expected to wake up to that and realise, oh my God, it's so destroying that, he isn't here. But I want to find a way of paying a tribute and a memory. And this is why I'm doing it in this video, in love of memory of Jock, because at the end of the day, he was such a kind man that had so much time for everyone and anyone. And that is what I loved Jock about him most, is that he gave up everything for everyone else. He's got such a great family, the connection, and you see all, and you look at the way he cooks, the way he represents his dishes, the way his dishes speaks meaning, and the way he treats ingredients, natural ingredients, with so much respect. That is because he had the passion to be able to take his career to the next level. And the amount of stuff he's achieved in his career is second to none. The amount of, it's just that one person can transform your life, and that was Jock. And he did that for me. He brought me back into a bright place again. He brought me back positivity. He brought me back so much that I didn't have. And losing Jock now, it's like it's left a big empty hole that I don't feel like is ever going to recover. I've been left heartbroken, and it's going to take, I don't know how long. I don't know how long it's going to take to get over this. I don't think I ever will, because when it starts here in the UK, if it does, and I hope it would in some way, we honour Jock's memory. But at the end of the day, I think we've all got to think about what Jock's family would want, what the judges would want, what the contestant would want, what the public would want. And I think, in my opinion, that we need to honour him because he deserves it. The way he's helped so much people is what makes people and society great, when you've got people like Jock who helped so many others who needed it. And they got the help, and look where they all are now. And to lose him now is left a big empty hole in restaurants, in chefs, in contestants. Masterchef Australia's heart is literally been ripped out because Jock is no longer here. And I can't imagine, how everyone must be feeling. Everyone connected. I love Masterchef Australia. I'm one of the biggest fans. I love the show over here in the UK when it's on. I watch every single series with my parents, my mum and my dad, and my brother when he was still at home. And even my pets, we all sit down as a family and watch it together, because food can make memories of pure happiness and joy. And we learn from what's happened in our lives, and we can put that on a plate. And Jock was always said, represent yourself on a plate. What represents you? Make a dish that represents you, the journey and the career and your life, what you've been through and what you want in the future. Jock was managed to bring so much happiness, joyful and laughter into that show, especially the Celebrity Australia Masterchef version as well, the new series that was on last year. The amount of impact he had on those celebrities, and you look at the jobs they're doing now. Half those celebrities are doing cooking professional full time because of the impact he had on their career. And it's absolutely devastating. It's so unfair. It's so unfair. It's just gutting. Like, I can't imagine what it must feel like to lose Jock. He was such a lovely, lovely person, a lovely man, a lovely human being that, had a heart pure, full of gold. He was such a great, great person that inspired everyone to take that next step into their life and to bring the confidence and the ability and the passion out in their skill level. And you look at that show now, and it's just, without Jock, it just isn't MasterChef. It really isn't. And I know what that show means to people in every single country across the world. We are one big family. We are one big community of people that we need to support each other right now. We all need to be there for each other. We need to be there and support and love each other and get as many tributes towards Jock as much as possible, because that guy deserves it. His loss is going to be massively missed. He's going to be such a massive miss in restaurant and hospitality, because you look at the hospitality sector now and it's just second to none. That was down to Jock's ability to be able to deliver perfection. And every time he did a masterclass, every time he did a judges competition right at the end of the series when they were announcing the winner in the final, the laughter and the positivity he brought to that show. And I know obviously he struggled with anxiety just like me, and what he does when he had those collection of beads and he always had them on him, that shows that, you know what, he's found a way of being able to bring something as simple as a wristband of beads, and you look at what he's done there, and that's just, you don't get that from anyone else. That was what made Jock so special. He was different, and I like different. I like what he brought to me. I like what he brought to Masterchef Australia, and I love his cooking style, and I love his dishes. I've even subscribed to his YouTube channel so I can remember those memories that he brought. I want to be able to remember him, because you just can't ever replace a guy like that, because it ain't going to be right. It ain't going to be fair. And do you know what? You could see the emotion. You can see the heartbreak. I mean, I haven't stopped crying since 9 a.m. on Monday, and I still haven't stopped now. I'm so just heart-wrenched out of pure love of what I felt for Jock, because he brought something to that show. He brought charisma. He brought laughter. He brought positivity. And he brought that never be afraid to go out and get help when you need it. And he was such a special, special man. And to lose him is just, it's left so much of a hole in the middle of the Masterchef Australian family. And I love the show. Like I said about me watching my parents and my family, I've watched every single series, and I felt like Jock was right at home. As soon as he made that first guest judge appearance on the show for the first time when I saw it, and I watched that series, I thought, you know what? He looks like a Masterchef Australia judge. And I was so excited to see him become that new judge, one of the new judges on the show. It brought so much love and so much connection. He brought everyone together, because I don't feel like there was any connection there before, but all of a sudden the family vibe and the family connection between all the contestants, where everybody got on, everybody was friends, all the judges all got on with the contestant got on with the judges, because the judges brought the best out of the contestants through Jock's wise words of pure passion and commitment and desire, that he's been it, he's done it, he's worked hard, he's grafted it, and look where it delivered him. It brought him perfection, it brought him Michelin star restaurants, it brought him a sector of this life that he was so, so great at. You look at his, you just look at everything he's achieved, and the stats don't lie. He was such a special man. He was so, so special. And I've got a lot of time to keep talking about Jock, because he was so special. Like, it's so destroying knowing he's not here. And we all have to mourn together to remember Jock's memory. He was a special, special man. And his loss is being felt across the world. His loss is being felt in the Masterchef Australia family and across every country in the world that loves that show, especially me over here in the UK. I've never missed one series. And as soon as Jock came on, I fell in love with more of the show, because it was so different. It was just so positive. He was just a man that had so much gift, so much love for everyone. He made the contestants a family. He brought everyone together in team challenges, in relays, in the judges' cook-off, which was so fun because there was so much laughter and banter in them, because he brought a smile to your face. And him not there now, I just don't know how to, words can't describe it. Words can't describe it. It's just, I'm lost, because it's such a shock. That was not what I was expecting to wake up Monday morning to. I'm devastated. And what Jock has done for me, I want to thank him from the bottom of my heart, because you are the reason I'm still here. You are the reason you've brought so much confidence, and you've brought my personality out. You've brought my ability to be able to believe in myself. Because I was, like I said, I was in such a bad place in the last few years. And as soon as Jock made that impact, I felt so much warmth towards him, because he was delivering a message of, don't be afraid of failure. Failure is about trying to achieve the impossible. And failure, people do fail at stuff, but we learn from those lessons. And we all do it. We've learned before. We've all made mistakes. And what Jock brought out of the contestants was, do you know what? Make the failure of not being able to achieve it, and make it a thing achievable, and put that on the dish, put that on the plate of food. Tell us about your journey. Tell us about your life story. And you know what? You didn't have that before. It was just, there was such a connection, such a bond. You could see the bond between Melissa and Andy Allen and Jock. I mean, the three of them together, it just worked so perfectly. And you take Jock out of that equation now, and it's just Melissa and Andy, and it's like, that show can never ever replace Jock. It can't really be replaced. You can't ever replace that guy. It's such a huge loss. And like I said, my thoughts are with everybody, all the past contestants, all the past judges, all the special guests, all the special people that have featured on that show. You look at all the winners, you look at every contestant that has featured. Everyone is one big family, because we all love Masterchef Australia. And without Jock now, it just doesn't seem like a show that is doable without him. I want it to carry on, of course, because we all love it, but we've got to think at this time, we've all got to grieve, we've all got to think what is the best. And I think, we all have to put our thoughts and prayers with his family and his friends, because the heartbreak and the devastation of, losing Jock is going to hit hard. It's not going to be easy. It's not. And losing him has left a big hole in the whole community of fans, the whole community of Masterchef, which has got, I mean, you look how much followers it's got on Insta and Facebook. You look at everything it's got, and it's just, that show is so special. You don't see a show like that. You don't see a Masterchef Australia in any other show, because no other show can compete with it. And Jock on there, he was just so lovable. You just wanted to go there and give him a hug, because do you know what? He meant something to you. And I wish I would have had the time to be able to meet him. My dream is always to go and look at that MasterChef kitchen and be in there one day, because it means a lot to me. I get so excited. I get so buzzing when it's on, when a new series starts. I get such a big smile on my face. And him not there now is just, it ain't going to feel like the same show. And I don't know how much they filmed of the new series. Obviously, the show has been postponed for a whole week, and rightfully should. We need to mourn, and we need to grieve about the loss of Jock, and remember his amazing memories that brought so much happiness and joy into our lives. And you look at all the past guys, all the tributes they've put out, it just speaks so soundfully of how wonderful Jock was. He was just a special, special man that was a diamond. He was an absolute gem. He was such a beautiful person that brought a heart full of warmth and welcoming into the world of MasterChef, and he had that in abundance. He was just, Jock Zonfrillo will never ever be forgotten, and will always be remembered for life and for always. And I hope, we can all remember his memory, and I hope we can all remember the memories and the treasures he brought to all of us, because without him, there's no MasterChef Australia. He made that show his own. Especially him having the head judge role, there's a lot of responsibility, and he did that so easy. He made it look so easy. That is because of the person he has. He had so much time and commitment for everything that he did in his life. And you know what? He's a special, special man, and I can't thank him enough for what he's done. But to lose him is devastating. And only 46 years of age, that's nowhere to go at. Losing Jock at 46 years of age is devastating. And I hope, he finds peace. And I hope, the MasterChef Australia and community can all come together and mourn him. I hope they do a really special memorial for him during the show or after the show, or even do a brand new trophy and call it the Jock Zonfrillo Trophy. If you win Masterchef, you win that trophy in remembrance of Jock. And you always put a special band of beads inside the trophy that everyone can see, and even put a special photo of Jock with the year of his birth and his death, because that would be such a beautiful memory to bring to that kitchen. Or even put a big memorial or photo of him in that kitchen. That is the guy that inspires all of us. Jock was a person that was so approachable, that was always there to talk to people. And you see the tributes from Darren Purchases and Jamie Oliver and Gordon Ramsay and Reynolds and everyone else who was involved in Masterchef Australia. They spoke so fondly of him that it was so beautiful to listen to all the words of great kindness that they had for Jock. And losing him is just, there's no words to describe how gut wrenching and how awful and how heartbreaking it is to lose such a wonderful man that has got a heart of pure gold. And at the end of the day, he was Mr. Masterchef. He was Masterchef Australia. He was the lead man. He was just that one person that made you put a smile on your face. His laughter, his jokes are very good as well, and the banter he has with everyone, and the way he just applauds everyone for the perfection of dishes. And even, he still gives praises if dishes aren't that great, but he always tells them there's always room for improvement. And everyone took every bit of advice and help on board that Jock gave them. And you see that now, and you look at the careers. You look at what Reynolds doing, and Tessa and Simon, and you look at everyone that's got so much confidence for what Jock brought to them personally and mentally. That guy has changed everyone's life ever. That can never ever be taken away. Look at the job Jock did. He was there for a reason. He was a guy that needed to bring happiness and joy, and he brought that in abundance. From episode 1, where the first series was on there, when it was back to win, and all the ex-contestants that were featured before have come back to win. And even, fans against favourites last season, you look at the impact it made on Julie Goodwin and Sashi and Billy winning it for a second time. And even the fans, you look at the impact he's made on their lives, because he brought a wonderful world of food into the MasterChef kitchen. And that show is going to be strange. It's not going to feel right. And I hope we get what's best for his friends and his family. And obviously what is best for all of us as well. We have to take into account what's the bigger picture, and that is to try and honour Jock's memories, achievements, and the life that he brought to this show, and the life and the passion he brought to people's lives, because he was just a remarkable man, a remarkable human being, a remarkable person. And I would love to have met Jock. I mean, I've never met him, but just the vibe he gives you and the way he's there to help you. That is what makes a kind person. That was Jock Zonfrillo in a heartbeat. And him, sorry. Sorry. It's he meant so much to me. Honestly, he meant so much, and it's just we're all in shock. Everyone's in shock. It's just a new story no one expected. And I look at the life he had, I look at the life he's left behind, and he had so much joy and happiness in his life. And you know what? We all have to be there and give his fans, his friends, and his family the most respectful time of privacy and respect. We have to give them the most biggest amount of respect and privacy right now. We have to give them be respectful and give them that family the time they need, and be respectful. And, Give them the privacy they need at the moment, because they are going to need everything at the moment to help them. And do you know what? We're always, this Masterchef Australia community is always there to support one of our own. And we need to do something special to honour Jock's memory. And I hope Masterchef Australia, I hope, like I said, they scrap the old trophy and do a brand new trophy and call it the Jock Zonfrillo trophy. Put it in his name, put it in his memory, put inside that trophy a band of beads, a special band of beads. Put Jock's photo in that trophy with the beads, with his date of his birth and the date of his death. And also maybe put up a big memorial picture inside the Masterchef Australia kitchen on the walls, and that will help the contestants more. That is the reason you're here today, because of Jock, because he brought everyone together. He just brought that show. And I think, I hope they give him a really, really good tribute. I hope he gets a really wonderful memorial, and I hope they give him a wonderful, wonderful funeral, a wonderful send-off to remember Jock, because that day is going to be self-destroying. It's going to be horrible. I would love to have met him, because he'd done so much in my life. And him no longer being here is devastated me. It's made me just think to myself, it's like you're stuck in a bad dream and you don't get out of that. You can't get out of that dream. It feels like that. It doesn't feel like this is real. But it is. This is real. And there's nothing we can do. But we have to give his family the most amount of privacy they need. And I hope, the funeral and the memorial, I hope they do have planned for him in the future. They do something really amazing for him. Scottish, Australian influences, bagpipes. Let's give Jock the send-off he would have loved, because he deserves it. Because that was the guy that changed everyone's lives for the better. And my thoughts and prayers go out to every Masterchef Australia fan, all the contestants, all the ex-contestants, Melissa Long and Andy Allen, all the Masterchef Australia TV crew, everyone, the makeup artists, everyone that worked with Jock, because it's going to be a really difficult time for them to also deal with the impact of losing Jock and knowing he's no longer going to be there. And him not walking in that Masterchef Australia kitchen is just not going to feel the same. That kitchen is going to feel so empty without him. And he's just such an incredible person that changed me for the better. And he's the reason I'm still here, because he brought me back. And I can't thank him for enough. I really couldn't. I would love to have given him a hug. I would have loved to have met him. I would have loved to been able to say, I'm always here for you, because I treated him as a friend. I felt like he was a person in my life because of the connection I had with the show. He just made me look at life in a completely different way. And I look at the impact he's done, and I look at the impact of me, and the better I am. That is because of Jock. And that memory is always going to stay with me for the rest of my life. He was an incredible person. In my opinion, one of the greatest chefs in the world ever that we have ever seen. The industry was better because of Jock Zonfrillo. He made this industry unbeatable. The hospitality sector is all down to Jock. That is because he has got guts. He was determined and he was passionate to create a wonderful and successful life for his wife, for his kids, and for the fans of Masterchef Australia, and most importantly, all the other two judges and the contestants and all the past ex-contestants that have featured under him. And I think the impact, is still going to be it feels so raw. It's like this is just a dream and you can't escape. This is reality. Jock's gone. And, a wonderful man that had so much time for everyone. And MasterChef Australia will never ever be the same again. It won't ever be the same show. Because you look at all the guest judges and all the guest chefs that have worked alongside him in the last 2-3 years. Reynolds, Julie Goodwin, Sashi, Billy McCart. You look at everyone that has featured under him, and you look at all the favourites who featured last series as well. The impact he's made on their lives is second, because look at the careers they've all got now. They are in the hospitality sector. because of Jock, because he made them believe in their dreams and they made their dreams achievable, because of the kind words Jock gave them for the confident ability that they needed to believe in themselves to achieve the impossible dream. And Jock was a man on a mission. He brought environmental, he brought passion, he brought respect for natural Australian ingredients. He brought the world of Australia onto a plate, onto our TV screens, because that was the type of man he wanted to leave and be a legacy for. That is the type of man that, was one of the greatest people that I've ever come across in Masterchef Australia history. There was something about Jock that made me connect with him, and he's made that connection even stronger. That connection will always be there with me forever with Jock. That's never going to go. And I hope, he can rest easy. I really hope he can rest easy. And you know what? Sorry. I just hope his legacy will be remembered. I really hope we can honour that memory. And I hope, we can all mourn and grieve together. And we need to be there and support each other right now, because we all are feeling it. We all are feeling it. I just don't feel like it's real. But it is. And I hope, one day we'll see more people like Jock in that kitchen. Because do you know what? Without him now, it's just not the same. And I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss Jock. He just... It was that smile he had. And I love how he applauds every contestant out of that kitchen when they're eliminated, because he says, give it up. And it's like, give it up for everybody that left. He's like, give it up for that person, give it up for that person. He applauds them out because he knows all of them are going to have futures in the food industry after this. And they're all doing it now because of Jock, because that's the commitment and love he brought to that show. And I think, he was a wonderful human, a wonderful man, and a wonderful, wonderful person that I'm going to love and treasure forever. I'm going to remember him. I really am going to remember him. And I thank him for everything he's done for me in my life. The impact he's made on me. And, hopefully now, what this means for everybody is it brings us all together. It brings us together forever. And let's try and get this video to as many likes as possible to remember Jock. Not for me, not for the channel, but for Jock Zonfrillo. Let's get as many views on this, and let's do as many tributes as possible, because he deserves it. He deserves all the loving, wonderful things we all want to say about him. And I hope, I hope his family and friends can take some kind of memories and tributes from everything that's been said about him. And I hope that helps them, because, that ain't going to go. It's just such a huge loss. It's devastating. It's oh my God. Life can just be so unfair. It really can. And it's taken such a wonderful person from us. And I hope, Jock's up there in spirit, and he's watching down on Masterchef Australia, and he's watching down on all the contestants, all the judges, all the past contestants, and all the present contestants now. And I hope that light of that glimmer of hope is still up there shining on them, and shining all the fans of the show, and shining on this world, Jock's up there in spirit, and I'm going to remember that guy for the rest of my life because he was just so great. He was such a great person that brought so much, and I'm going to miss him. I really am going to miss him. I just hope we can all come together and do something beautiful to remember him by. And I hope Masterchef Australia come and do out a massive, massive tribute video with everything that Jock brought, and maybe we can add all our comments, all the tributes into that video to make one big, phenomenal film or one phenomenal video about Jock and get us all involved in that, because all our memories will want to be heard. I think that would be a great idea to also give the memory for Jock and to remember him, because we are going to have to try and pull through this. It's not going to be easy, but we all have to be there to love and support each other no matter what. We are all going to have to be there. And I hope we can all do it. I really hope we can do it, because at the end of the day, there's not a lot of people like Jock. And what he's brought is pure love and pure joy to my life. I've got so much more respect for food. I've got so much more respect for the industry, the hospitality. I've got so much respect now, even more, because Jock was my biggest influencer in my life of pure love, pure belief, and pure self-confidence. He brought so much. And I hope, I'm hoping we can remember him. And he ain't going to be forgotten. Remember what Jock did. Remember all the love, all that you brought to your lives, because you need to treasure that. Because there's not a lot of people like Jock. There really, really isn't. And you know what? It's just so sad. It really, really is. And he's just an amazing person. And thanks for the great live comments in the chat as well. It means a lot for you to be joining me for this tribute to Jock. It means a lot to me. And if you can find in the kindness of your hearts to help, push this video and give a memory and a like and even a subscribe as well, so it brings the channel together. If you can all do that for me and do that for the Masterchef Australia community, not about the channel, bring everybody together and bring Jock's memories as one. If you can all subscribe and leave a like on this video for Jock, do it for Jock, because he deserves it. He absolutely deserves it. He was a legend. A legend. The word legend never gets used enough to represent people. The word legend never gets used enough to describe the way people are. And Jock was that legend. He was that guy that changed the world forever. That world is a better place because of Jock. Jock Zonfrillo, I am going to miss you. I love you, and I hope you can find peace and rest, and I hope you are up there watching over us, because without you, that show's nothing. And that show's going to be difficult to watch if they decide to air it in the UK. But we have to respect the decision that is being made to everybody. We have to give that respect to everybody on this channel. We have to respect the family, the friends. We have to respect what Jock brought. And in the live chat, I appreciate the comments you've both left, because that shows the type of people you both are. That shows you. It shows you what great people you are. And if you please could both subscribe, it would mean the world, not to the channel, but to Jock, because I want to give Jock the memories he deserves, because he was such a special man. He really, really was a great, great person to be around. And I'm a better person with it. Just shows a lot. And so me pro in the chat, if you would do me the honourable favour of giving a subscribe to the channel for Jock, because he would like his memory to be remembered by this video. He was a legend, and he did so much for me, not just mentally, but physically. He brought me back from the darkness I was going through. From the last couple of years, life was tough, and Masterchef Australia has brought me so much joy and happiness back into it because of the impact it has on me. And, at the end of the day, we need more people like Jock. And I hope we can all find it in our hearts to, pay tribute to him. And we thank him for everything he has done for people in our lives, because he is a man that is never going to be forgotten. He is a legend. He will always be remembered as a legend. And you know what? I think he was a man that deserves all the credit, because he was just special. And I could talk loads more about Jock, because he was just so great that you could never say anything bad about him. And I hope he's going to bring more joy in his memories towards the show. I hope we can all come together as a community, as a channel, and remember Jock, because without him now, it just doesn't feel right. And I want to give his family the most respectful privacy that they deserve at this extremely difficult time. We all have to respect their privacy and give them the privacy they need, because losing a dad and a husband and a brother and a son is never going to be easy. Yeah, the show has been cancelled for a whole week due to obviously Jock's passing. This whole week, the show was meant to air yesterday on Monday, the 1st of May, but obviously they have cancelled it for this whole week because of the sudden loss of Jock. I don't know what's going to happen in the show, but that is the least of our things to worry about. This is to remember Jock in the best way that we could. That show was that show because of Jock. That show was the best show I've ever watched in my whole life. He was just an amazing, amazing person. And the memories he brought are going to be remembered forever. And the impact he made on people's lives was second to none. And if everyone could please, all the great comments you're leaving in the chat, all the respectful ones that you're all sharing, if you could all leave a like on this video in memory of Jock, and give this a subscribe as well to the channel, so Jock's memory is remembered. It would mean the world to me to make this tribute go further, because he made such a positive impact on my life. And without him now, we need to remember him and the joy and the happiness we brought, and we need to think that as a positive one. Remember what Jock was. He was a legend. He was a legend. That can't ever be taken away, because of the amount of work he did for charity, the ex-contestants, the contestants now, the judges, the show, people, his friends, his family, his wife, his kids. He brought so much love, joyfulness, and happiness to every single aspect, because that guy was, in one word, lovely. Jock was absolutely lovely. And, let's all shine a light tonight with our phones, with our torches for Jock, and remember that shining light will never ever be forgotten. He will always be remembered for the rest of our lives, for life and for always. He was a general, incredible human being, man, friend, brother, son, dad, Masterchef Australia judge. He was a legend, and I'm going to miss you, Jock. And I thank you for everything you've done for me. And we're going to miss you, and it ain't going to be the same. And I'm going to miss you forever. And I'm going to remember and treasure the memories you brought to my life, because you were a legend. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you've done for me in my life, and the impact of positivity and the confidence you've brought back into me, because without you, I wouldn't be here today. And I love you, Jock Zonfrillo. Rest in peace, Jock Zonfrillo. A love and tribute and memory in this video. And I'm only going to do that I'll only do that if you leave a subscribe notification for Jock, because I want to remember his memory and I want to treasure these moments that we all need to be together as one. And if you do that for me, I will also do a massive favor in turn and subscribe to your channel as well, because I want everyone to be respectful of the grief I'm feeling and the time I need to be away. I need to have time, I need to grieve, and I need some time and privacy to be respected, because this is going to hit me hard for the next few days that Jock's no longer here. And I need to have some time to myself to process everything. And I hope, we can all have an impact towards the tributes and many more memories that Jock brought to this world, because he's going to be bloody missed. He's going to be bloody missed. And without Jock, and thank you. I'll give you a return of favour of subbing to mine. I'll give you a favour in return, and I appreciate that, because you've done that for Jock. You have done that for this video, and I appreciate you for that. That shows the type of person you are, that you care about people, and you show that you are kind and you are loved. And I've also given you a return favour. But rest in peace, Jock. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything you've done for my life. Thank you for the impact you have made on me. And thank you for the positivity you have made on everyone's lives. You were an amazing dad, amazing brother, son, Masterchef Australia judge. Your life, your memories will live on forever. Thank you, Jock Zonfrillo. Rest in peace, my friend. We are going to miss you, and I hope you are resting at ease. My thoughts and prayers are with his family. Jock Zonfrillo will never be forgotten from Masterchef Australia. I know we can remember it and cherish his moments. I need my time and privacy respected. I will be on Rocket League tomorrow if I'm feeling in the right shape of mind to be able to carry on after this video. I need some time to grieve. I need some privacy, and I need a bit of respect of time that I need to grieve for, because it's going to be difficult for me to process, because he was such an inspiration and role model to me. The impact he made on me was special. He brought so much happiness. He brought my confidence back. He brought my determination to carry on. Jock was a lovely man, a lovely person. He was just incredible. And I loved you, Jock Zonfrillo. Never forgotten, always remembered. Rest in peace. Rest easy, my friend. And thank you for everything, the memories that I am going to treasure for the rest of my life. Jock is sadly gone, but will never be forgotten. And hopefully we can come to terms that we can all come together and mourn his loss together and grieve together. We are one big family. We are one big community. We are one big Masterchef Australia community and family for the rest of our lives. Rest in peace, Jock Zonfrillo. Thank you for everything from the bottom of my heart. I love you, man.